Let's see how we're supposed to build this wonderful multi-personality crazy woman.
I don't know if you grew up around theater kids at all, but I did, unfortunately. But
Yeah,
I
I did
can say
too.
with 100%
They're
honesty
kind of
that
nuts.
69% of them are absolutely insane, and 82.6% of facts you
Yeah.
hear on the internet are completely made up. With Sparkle being the premier theater kid, you now have a perfect example of what a red flag looks like. And no, you can't fix her, like your financial security. This
You can always fix her. You can always fix her. All right.
character is so unhinged that if she was a door, she would fall over. And easily the worst thing about her is that she had to smell like Sampo for a minute. And now she's decided to live in Bronya's skin. Except she does her job a little bit better. At least for most characters. Today I'm going to be
Okay.
teaching you guys how to play and build Sparkle. And if you enjoy these videos, make sure to let YouTube know the video doesn't suck by leaving a like down below. Subscribe if you feel like it. And with all that being said, my name is Braxophone, and let's talk about Sparkle.
All right, Brax, hit us with the good stuff here. Let's see what we've been doing for. Take notes, everybody. Take notes.
In every gacha game, at some point you're gonna get characters that outperform the initial cast of 5 stars. It took almost a year for Bronya to become second best, but it's finally
A year is crazy, right? I think a year for any of the standard banner characters to get like power crept is nuts, right? Even beyond that, right? Even Tingyun, right? She was a initial 4-star character. She still holds her own too, right? Bronya was a champ until Ruame, and now you have Sparkle who literally does what she does, but just better. That is nuts to me. That means Honkai Star Rail definitely they're definitely giving you quality characters that last, which I can respect.
happened. That's the power of a truly insane anime girl. While Bronya has a 100% action forward on her skill with a
Yeah.
huge damage bonus for a turn, Sparkle has a skill that gives you 50% action forward with a massive crit damage boost for a turn. This crit bonus is huge and it's higher than Bronya's ultimate. And even though it's not a full 100% advance forward, 50% is still really significant and you can see her pull teammates up pretty dang far in the action sequence. At first glance, Sparkle does just look straight up worse than Bronya because of the action forward thing, but she does a few things better than Bronya. The first is that she gives more overall stat bonuses. The second is that she keeps them up longer, and the third thing is that she enables attack boots on literally almost every character in the game. With one of her major traits
Red flag. No, that's nuts. That's crazy. Just being able to switch the attack boots over, that opens up so many avenues. Just the increase in power that you get from the attack boots. 'Cause what is it? Like 35% on max attack boots or something like that? Something close to that. 25 to 35%, I believe. And that is just crazy compared to the fact that it's also, you're doing how much crit damage boost, to the person. So people like Imbibitor, Sela, Jing, they're doing so much more damage. And from what I can understand, right? I'll let him go through the guide. Yeah, let him speak the truth to you guys.
races, she extends her crit damage buff until the start of the character's following turn,
Hmm.
meaning that characters that have follow-up attacks that are separate from their turn, like Jingyuan, also can keep the buff. Lenny is eating real good. I don't know what else to say about it. But that's not
Yeah.
all I was talking about, because the single best gimmick that Sparkle has is the juice. By nature of this character joining your team, she can actually allow you to hold 2 extra skill points, which allows you to stock up to 7 at a
Crazy.
time, which would be weird if she was just
Crazy.
a normal character, but fortunately for us, she's clinically insane. When she uses her ultimate, she recovers 4
She's not insane, Brax. All right. She has multiple personalities. That's a different thing. All right. You with her, right? You don't know if she's gonna stab you or make you a cake. I find that exciting.
skill points for the team. And for those of you who don't know, that makes her go +1 skill points over 3 turns, which basically makes her Bronya, but skill point positive, without having to basic attack
Thank
at all,
God.
which honestly is a little bit of a bummer because this is the best basic attack of the entire game.
Yo, Tekken, I found your next DLC character.
Even if you do have to basic attack due to SP mismanagement, or in other words, skill issue, you'll still get the full 30 energy you would normally get from her skill, because one of her major traces gives 10 more energy per basic attack. Also, her ultimate gives your team a damage bonus called Cypher for 2 turns, which seems small until you factor in her talent, which also gives a damage bonus for skill points spent between Sparkle's turns. Every skill point you spend gives damage bonus up to 3 stacks and refreshes the turns left on the buff. So
That's definitely not a little bit more damage boost than Bronya gives. Like I understand Bronya, her ultimate and her skill, but I feel like that's nuts. And that's all allies. Holy shit. That's good. That's extremely good. Yo, if you ain't pulling for Sparkle, man, like I get Archons next, right? But damn, dude, that's if you need a Harmony unit, you might want to consider pulling for her before you worry about Archon because that's just gonna boost up any of your characters. Any 4-star DPS, any previously mid DPS. Um, damn.
It's basically always maxed out unless you just spam basic attacks for a minute. This is actually one of the biggest things that separates Bronya and Sparkle, since Sparkle can actually gain one skill point over 3 turns, whereas Bronya needs her signature Light Cone and Eidolons just to break even.
Hmm.
And even then, it's only a chance to actually break even. Having a character that has true action forward every turn is absolutely insane. Okay, so now you know about the juice, but do you know about the sauce? Sparkle's skill up
All we know about the sauce.
time is every single turn. Her talent is basically full uptime as far as the damage bonus goes, and her ultimate lasts for 2 turns. But what if I told you that her ultimate could actually last for 3 turns instead of 2? If you wait until after your DPS
Don't mind me real quick. I just forgot I had. Yep. All right, cool.
DPS's turn has come up, and then use Sparkle's ultimate, your DPS's first turn of Cypher buff won't actually count down, meaning you can always have the damage buff up in
Ooh,
a 3-turn Sparkle rotation. That's it. That's all. That's everything. Sparkle's
that's
kit
clean.
is incredibly stable, unlike both her mental health and the people who play her. What do I mean by that? Well, on top of everything I've said already, her last
Yo, why you calling us out like that, Brax? Huh? Why you gotta call us out like that? Look, man, ADHD is a bitch. Okay.
Trace gives your party 15% attack bonus for free. And if you add quantum characters to your team, you get an extra bonus to that attack. So the Mono Quantum Dream is no longer a dream. It's very real and you should fear for your
Oh,
next paycheck.
okay.
Overall, 50% action forward is very strong, and you'll see in the footage that a lot of the time it even pulls my character up next anyways. With all of these buffs and them having such crazy uptime, all you have to do is make sure that your Sparkle has a solid build and she can be crazier than your ex. I'm just kidding, Starrail players don't date. For her talent priority, go ahead and focus on her skill, her ultimate, her talent, and then her
Ask. Look, that can't be a thing, man. It's not like Yu-Gi-Oh players that don't shower, right? Nothing like that. Uh, yeah, they don't shower, man. I've been to enough locals. You gotta bring a mask for your own safety. Skill, ultimate talent. All right, so that's what we're going with her. Okay. All right, Brax. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, especially if you're using your skill every single turn. Ultimate. Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, you want that 50% forward.
funny kick.
Yo, I gotta say, Brax's music choice for the next segment, fire. I love that.
Sparkle is basically Bronya if I wanted Bronya to break my heart. Having similar kits means similar builds and principles, with the only difference being that Sparkle doesn't actually need specific speed tuning most of the time. Her best set at the moment is 4-piece Messenger for personal speed and a speed buff to your team. If you don't have 4 pieces though, you can also go with 2 pieces of the speed set and any other 2 that give defensive stats like HP, defense, and damage reduction. For planar sets, for basically all of the content in the game, going with Broken Keel is going to be amazing for the
Okay.
team crit damage and effect res on Sparkle. With a quantum DPS, you can go with Penacony for damage bonus, since it doesn't really require any specific stats or height or anything. Other sets that work are Sprightly Von Walk and Fleet of the Ageless. For main stats, you're going to want a crit damage body, speed boots, any orb, and an energy regen.
So she's basically just whatever Bronya uses, right? That's what we're getting from this. Okay. You just want me to take my Bronya, strip her naked, right? And be like, nah, you done? You out? You out? All right. You got replaced by a woman who has 6 different personalities. All right, cool. Yeah. Um, that does make things easier though, because the messenger set is a very good set to just grind, and that broken keel too. I've been grinding that. So crit damage, speed, whatever, which is probably gonna be defense, right? HP, defense, percentage, and energy regen. Uh, she's probably getting 3-turn ults anyways, based off either if you use even if you use your basic attack, you decide not to do your skill 1 turn. It's still 30 energy, and then energy regen on top of that. Yeah, okay. All right.
and rope. The more crit damage you have, the more she buffs your team, so that's an absolute must. Speed boots are also a must-have because the more Sparkle goes, the more you can pull up your DPS. There is no downside at all to having a fast Sparkle. The orb main stat doesn't really matter. I'd recommend going for a defensive piece like HP or
Okay.
defense, but you mostly just want to prioritize speed, crit damage, and effect res substats. And for the rope, with energy regen, you can get your ultimate every 3 turns. Now,
That's what I like to hear. All right. Easy ultimates, baby.
on the topic of speed, she doesn't want to be speed tuned to your DPS. But with that
Oh, thank
said,
God.
she does want to have a very high speed stat. What Sparkle is
Fuck.
effectively doing is forcing your DPS forward in the action order, and the faster Sparkle is, the more she advances you forward. Your Sparkle's speed replaces your DPS character's need for speed. You can run attack percent boots on almost every DPS to gain overall damage if Sparkle is on the team, since
Yep,
she can
okay.
make them act sooner. So what I personally recommend, and what I've tested, is going for 160 speed on Sparkle, focusing
Yeah, 160. No speed traces. I was hoping that was a lie. I mean, I'm sure I can go lower, but that's so hard, man. That is so hard. I don't even know where her base speed is. Hold on one second. Let me hit that one more time. What the fuck? Okay. Okay. Yo, I might run her with the rainbow set for a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Just to get the stats.
most of your effort on speed and crit damage substats. With proper investment, 160 is achievable for free-to-play players, especially if you go with a mixed 2 and 2 setup. If you don't believe me, go to my stream. I saw like a 180 Bronya the other day. My friend who did theory crafting
That's
for this told me
nuts.
to put
Nah.
this on screen, so here it is.
Alright, hold on. Alright. I'm gonna have to take a look at this later. I might save this. Okay. Both 4 times speed. Blade, Sparkle, and Bronya. Yo, my blade's kind of cracked too. Oh, I might mess with that. But yeah, I still need that 160 though. Well, and my blade speed definitely ain't that high. Holy crap. Okay, yep, that's enough of that.
If you want it, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm doing a Zila cosplay right now. And just in case you kind of dissociated during all that yapping, me too, here's a build summary. Focus on speed and crit damage, with some emphasis on effect res, so that way she doesn't get topped by Kafka.
Nope, not gonna say anything.
So let's keep it real. A lot of you guys probably pulled for Sparkle because she's absolutely busted. But I'm sure a ton of you guys just pulled for her because of her story appearance, or maybe her Twin Tails. If you pulled her for Twin Tails, then you're the most valid of the 3. Luckily for you, though, she's actually very free-to-play friendly. Chaotic Evil Hutao can use
Yo, her trailers were nuts. I never reacted to that. I've been sick for a while, but her trailers were crazy. I love that.
a ton of different light cones, ranging from medium to premium, just like her. Obviously, they're going to make her signature the best for her. It gives a ton of crit damage, and it also gives allies crit rate and crit damage buffs. The next best thing, though, is either Bronya's signature light cone or Past and Future, under the
Past and
assumption
Future?
that it works
Okay.
most of the time. With Bronya's light cone, you can even get an extra skill point back 1 to 2 times per battle. Planetary Rendezvous is an
Yeah, I'm not taking my Bronya skill light cone offer. Nah, not for an extra skill point. Nah, I'll run Dance Dance before that shit. I'm probably still gonna run Dance Dance, but you get the point.
amazing light cone in mono quantum teams, and I even recommend it above everything else but her signature for that team specifically. But even in just a quantum DPS setup, it's pretty solid. Snap the Neck, Weave the Clouds, and Dance 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 are fantastic options. And lastly, the Dreamville Adventures light cone is
Snap the neck, Jesus Christ. Yeah, so Carve the Weave and Dance Dance. Okay. And then I don't even think I have this one. Oh, this might be one of the new free-to-play ones.
your second free-to-play option, which is the worst of the 2. I would definitely craft Past and Future over that one. Funny enough, Meshing Cogs, which is usually one of the top choices for every Harmony, is basically useless here, since you're trying to only ever use her skill. I'd recommend
You'll never see me use a 3-star one. Nah.
Just because it is
We ain't free to play
There's not really damage
on this account
for these, since it depends on the team, but here's what I recommend.
For a weird setup. Okay. Oh, teams. Here we go. Here we go. Let me see what I'm running with her. Hold on one second, Brax. I'm gonna pause you just for a minute here because I want to see where we at with. Yep. All right. Cool. I'm probably gonna edit that out of the YouTube version. Don't worry about it, YouTube watchers.
Sparkle is insanely valuable and a huge addition to the HSR roster. Many units can be replaced with Sparkle as a strict upgrade, and that's not an exaggeration at all. She is incredibly powerful. So what does she bring to the table?
Okay.
Racism. The first thing that I want to talk about with Sparkle is going to be the premier Mono Quantum team. Finally, guys, we have achieved 100% of Zilla's latent
Yo,
potential.
I
Although
don't have
Sparkle
my
doesn't
Silver
really
Wolf
fit
built
in
like
with the
that.
color scheme here, so that is a little awkward. Anyways, of course, this team is going to be pretty good. You have Zilla, who is going to be one of the best quantum DPS. Silverwolf for the single target quantum amplification and a ton of debuffs on the enemy. Sparkle to buff your Zilla and give you unlimited skill points, so that way you can use Silverwolf and Zilla together. And Fushron, who's going to help you mitigate a bunch of damage, give a bunch of crit rate to everyone. And overall,
Yep.
this team actually functions incredibly well. Now, one other thing you can do is you can actually go and pick her. However you
I
say
ain't
her
got
name.
her built.
This is one of
I
the
got
only
her,
teams
not
that
built.
has a bunch of RNG in it that you can literally just mitigate by playing 4 quantum characters. By playing
I might make that team just for the fun of it. Look, we play a gacha game, right? We all play the gacha game here. If you're watching this video, you're probably playing the gacha game. Right? Whether it's this one, another one, probably this one. Anyways, if you don't like RNG, man, you gotta go get yourself a PlayStation or Xbox or Steam and get yourself a $60 game tag because I love RNG. All right, fucking love it. You know how exciting it is to me when I pull a character and I get that character, right? Even at the 50-50 odds, and how much it hurts me knowing that I'm gonna have to swipe my credit card because I lost that 50-50. Y'all never understand the pain of how much I had to spend to get Jing Liu. All right. I wasn't streaming back then, or I would have recorded that shit. And that would have been a road killer. Fucking worthy. That was. I've never lost two 50-50s back to back. One off the character banner, one off the Lycon. Let's get back to the video.
Sparkle in this team, you're actually getting a ton of extra skill points, which this gambling
PTSD.
gremlin girl can actually use to maximize her damage. On top of that, like I said, the extra skill points help with Silverwolf a lot, because whenever you run into an enemy that you have to apply quantum to, she can do that with the use of one skill, so you're not going to have to deal with the RNG of multiple different elements. So yeah, Mono Quantum is finally here. It's a pretty solid team. I'm not going to call it the best
Okay.
team, but it definitely is a very easy one to get through most of the game with. But one of the ones that everyone has been asking me about over at twitch.tv/Braxophone, make sure to go follow if you want to see lots of Honkai Starrail content on live, is Dan Heng, because he obviously eats a shit ton of skill
Yes.
points. Well, Sparkle does
Bring me the king. All right. I want to see what he can do. All right. That's why I pulled her. I don't know about you guys. I'm vibing her. Let's get Dong Hung in this bitch.
make his job a little bit easier. He can dish out a lot more enhanced basic attacks due to her giving extra skill points on occasion. We've already figured out ways to circumvent his skill point needs because we already have teams where we run our supports very, very fast. For example, a fast Ting Yun and a fast Locha are only going to benefit Dan Heng, and now that we have someone else to add more skill points, he has become essentially a Black Flash more powerful. I highly recommend pairing Sparkle with Ting Yun
Black
in general
Flash.
because
Like
Sparkle doesn't have a ton of attack buffs unless you're playing Mono Quantum, and while there are a lot of characters that are oversaturated with attack, normally in some places where you would run Bronya, you can now run Sparkle, who doesn't actually give as much attack as Bronya does, so Ting Yun can compensate for that and also be another SP positive force. And the next
Well, shit, I just took Dance Dance off my Ting Yun, so. Well, Ting Yun doesn't have Dance Dance anymore, but you know what? She has Snap the Neck. Now I got another Dance Dance. Level 1, let's go.
team I want to show you guys is probably my favorite gimmick team of all time, actually. It's really funny. This is called Unlimited Blade Works. Yeah, I'm not fucking kidding.
Yeah.
Why
He's
is it
bringing
called
the
Unlimited Blade
spice.
Works? Because you have two people constantly forcing Blade forward. Or Blade is going to be overworked to death by the time we're done with him, but maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. Basically, what you do is you build a slow Blade with lots of HP.
Alright, my blade does not look like that. Not in crit rate, not in HP. Yo, my blade sucks, man. Yo, that's crazy. I need him to hit his passive, his talent, for me to even get the crit rate up to 70%. I mean, his isn't there too, but damn. No, I think my crit damage is more. One second.
decent
Oh.
crit stats, and you get ready to go pound some enemies. What you're going to want to do is speed tune Sparkle and Bronya close together, and realistically, if you want to speed tune these two together to make this strat work, you want to have one character at
157.
156, Bronya being the lower one, and then Hanabi 1 or 2 speed faster. And effectively, what you're going to be able to do is exactly what's shown in this clip, where Blade's going to attack. Then you're going to rotate between Sparkle and Bronya in order to bring Blade back to the front of the queue to attack again and again and again and again. It's really funny, and it's kind of insane how well it works. Like, I genuinely have had so much fun with this, and I can't wait to see what we can do with more characters. The only reason this works is because Blade is a pretty SP, not super negative character. So even though these two are going to be eating a lot of your skill points, as long as you have another support that barely ever uses them, just like Lolcha, who spam basic attack, and you have Sparkle as well, who's able to generate all that extra SP, you'll be fine. I've also found a little bit of success with Jingnu in place of Blade, but it's a little bit less consistent. The best luck I've had with this is using
just a little bit, huh?
to bring his action forward consistently and get him more attacks overall, which will lead to him getting more skill points. And lastly, I just wanted to show you some of the DPS that she really excels.
I'm pretty sure my Lolcha's speed is pretty high
on the left, and I actually just talked about Jingli too, which was not in the original plan, so that kind of went off script for that one. But I do want to talk about Jingyuan. And one thing about Sparkle and Jingyuan is that it actually works a little bit differently from Bronya and Jingyuan. People say not to use Bronya with Jingyuan because if you use Bronya, you're not going to actually be able to get her buff on your Lightning Lord. But with Sparkle, she has a trace that helps you fix exactly that. Her trace makes it so that her skill crit damage bonus that she gives lasts until the start of the target's next turn, as opposed to going away at the end of their turn. This means that for Jingyuan and any character that has some sort of follow-up mechanic where they would lose their buff with Bronya will not actually lose it unless they move again before the mechanic actually happens. The Lightning Lord can receive the buffs from Sparkle. This makes Sparkle and Jingyuan a really solid combo, and if you're not playing Pure Fiction where you're just running a ton of DPS, Sparkle and Jingyuan can really excel. The only places I would be hesitant to play Sparkle in would be dot teams. Dot teams have been shown to be better with there's multiple DPS or running a character that can buff multiple DPS at the same time, like Asuka over on Mei. Sparkle and Tingyun and Sparkle and Pela are some of my favorite combos, and on occasion, if you get really lucky and there's a skill point positive or just not very negative DPS, you'll be able to use Sparkle and Bronya together with them, and that'll be fantastic. Overall, I'm super happy with how this character works in a bunch of different teams. She's super flexible and one of the best characters they have ever released. This weird merger of Hu Tao and Yoimiya on the chaotic evil side of things really is going to be a game changer, especially if you were someone that never had Bronya to begin with and never got lucky enough to actually get her. Anyways, let me tell you why you shouldn't.
Man, that's rough. 1 second, let's check the game. I'm gonna run it again. Man, that's okay. Roman can stay with the DOT team, right? I got her with Black Swan, got her with Kafka, Ho Ho. I don't know if I pronounced her name right. She's good. She'll be fine. Don't mind me. I'm gonna take a sip. All right. Why not to spend money? Okay. I'm not going in any deeper. All right. Sparkle's perfect the way she is. Okay. Why would I get 6 Eidolons when she has 6 personalities?
Spend money. Because Acheron is coming out pretty soon, you probably don't plan on pulling for Sparkle Eidolons, and that's okay, me too. But I'm contractually obligated to go over them, so here they are. Sparkle's E1 is an ultimate extension and an attack buff in her ultimate. Honestly, her ultimate extension is only useful in a couple of scenarios, just due to that snapshot thing I mentioned earlier in the video, unless they change that in a future patch like they did with Lolcha. The attack buff is really strong though, and it gives her even more utility to share with your team. E2, however, is insanely strong because it's going to essentially give you 24% defense ignore all of the time, as long as you maintain stacks of her talent.
Yeah,
so
I'm not going for E2.
If you are breathing, 24% defense ignore. If you're going to swipe a little bit, that is the lucky dolphin stopping point. E3 is a skill and basic level up, and E4 makes Sparkle gain an X.
Look, that's not swiping a little bit. That's swiping a lot. All right. It's what? Almost like 150, 200 for a hard 90 summons. Right. And you have to get E2. So if you don't get lucky and you hit hard pity, not to mention the fact that you can lose the 50-50. Damn, bro, that could be an easy $600 E2. I'm good. Thank you, though.
extra skill point on her ultimate and increases the skill point cap. Essentially, this makes Sparkle plus 2 SP over 3 turns instead of plus 1, and takes away almost all of the need for SP management with the exception of a certain goblin. E5 is an ult and talent level up, and E6 is a massive increase to the amount of crit damage buff that Sparkle gives from her skill. Her skill also shares crit damage with the whole team now, as long as her ult effect is up, which because of E1 will be 100% uptime. That crit damage buff is absurd and makes her a lot stronger for double DPS comps at the low price of a kidney. Realistically, Sparkle's Eidolons can usually do more for your DPS than their own Eidolons will, and if you're only going for 1 extra Sparkle or her light cone, technically speaking, on paper, E1 is going to be a better game, specifically if you have good relics already. However, I wouldn't bolt for Sparkle Eidolons, especially if you're like me and in horrendous amounts of debt, but if you do want to go above and beyond for the Twin Tails, I recommend going with her light cone because it gives a ton of crit value to your team with basically 100% uptime. And those crit buffs are gonna massively compensate for your absolute dog shit relics. Like and subscribe!
Yeah, I love his videos, man.
Welcome to Gacha.
Thank you guys for watching the video. And if you want to win on your next 50-50, don't forget to subscribe.